5 healthy restaurant chains that are actually worse than fast food. You think you're being the responsible parent by taking your kids to Panera instead of McDonald's, right? What if I told you that a single meal at one of these so-called healthy chains could pack more calories, sodium, and sugar than a Big Mac, large fries, and a Coke combined? Today we're exposing 5 restaurant chains that have fooled millions of health-conscious parents and seniors into thinking they're making better choices. Trust me, after watching this video, you'll never look at these places the same way again. And parents, grandparents, if you regularly take your family to any of these places thinking you're doing them a favor, you need to stick around, because what I'm about to reveal could be sabotaging your family's health in ways you never imagined. Look, I get it. We all want to feed our families well. When you're a busy parent or you're trying to maintain your health as you get older, these restaurants seem like the perfect solution. They market themselves with words like fresh, natural, real ingredients, and wholesome. But here's the thing, and this is especially important for seniors and parents to understand. These marketing terms are largely unregulated. A restaurant can slap fresh on their sign while serving you meals that are nutritionally equivalent to junk food. According to recent studies, the average American consumes 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day. That's nearly 50% more than the recommended limit. And where do you think most of that excess is coming from? Places that don't look like fast food restaurants. For seniors, this is particularly dangerous because high sodium intake directly correlates with hypertension, heart disease, and stroke risk. For children, we're literally programming their taste buds to crave excessive amounts of salt, sugar, and calories. So today, we're going to do some detective work together. I've got the nutrition facts, the comparisons, and the truth about what you're actually feeding your family. Chain number 5, Panera Bread. Let's start with the king of deceptive marketing, Panera Bread. Walk into any Panera, and what do you see? Warm lighting, comfortable seating, the smell of baked bread. It feels like your grandmother's kitchen, right? This is where countless parents bring their kids after soccer practice, where seniors meet for their weekly coffee dates, thinking they're making a healthy choice. But let me show you something that's going to blow your mind. Panera's Mac and Cheese Bread Bowl, a popular choice for kids, contains 1,230 calories and 72 grams of fat. Let me put that in perspective for you. A McDonald's Big Mac has 563 calories and 33 grams of fat. Add a large fries. That's another 510 calories and 24 grams of fat. That means Panera's comfort food has more calories and fat than a Big Mac and large fries combined. Your 8-year-old just consumed nearly an entire day's worth of calories in one sitting. But it gets worse. That same Mac and Cheese Bread Bowl has 2,340 milligrams of sodium. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams per day for adults, and significantly less for children. Your kid just maxed out their daily sodium allowance before dinner. And parents, here's what's really insidious. Panera markets this as comfort food made with real ingredients. Yes, they use real cheese, but they're serving it in portions that would make a fast food executive blush. For seniors, this is even more concerning. As we age, our metabolism slows down, and our bodies become less efficient at processing high amounts of sodium. A single lunch at Panera could spike your blood pressure for the entire day. Now, if you absolutely must eat at Panera, here's what I recommend. Stick to their you pick two option with a half sandwich and soup, avoid the bread bowls entirely, and always ask for dressing on the side. But honestly, you'd be better off at Subway, and that's saying something. Chain number 4, Chipotle. The restaurant that convinced an entire generation that fast casual equals healthy. Their whole brand is built around real ingredients, responsibly sourced, and made fresh daily. Sounds great, right? Parents love bringing their teenagers here because it feels so much healthier than traditional fast food. But here's the problem, and this is where parents need to pay close attention. Portion sizes at Chipotle are absolutely massive. Let me walk you through a typical order that most people would consider healthy. Burrito bowl with brown rice, black beans, chicken, cheese, sour cream, guacamole, and salsa. Sounds reasonable, right? This is what most parents would order for themselves or approve for their teenage kids. That healthy bowl? 1. 500 plus calories. 2,790 milligrams of sodium. That's more sodium than you should have in an entire day, consumed in one sitting. Compare that to a Burger King Whopper meal with fries. 1,200 calories, 1,710 milligrams sodium. The Chipotle bowl has 300 more calories and over 1,000 milligrams more sodium than a Whopper meal. And here's what really concerns me as someone who cares about family health. Teenagers are ordering these massive portions and thinking they're being healthy. We're teaching them that 1,500 calorie meals are normal, that 2,800 milligrams of sodium is acceptable. For seniors, the sodium issue is particularly dangerous. High sodium intake is directly linked to increased risk of stroke, heart failure, and kidney disease. If you're over 65 and eating at Chipotle regularly, you're playing Russian roulette with your cardiovascular health. Here's how to make Chipotle actually healthy. Skip the rice and beans, double up on vegetables, choose one protein, and limit yourself to one topping. Or better yet, ask for a salad bowl and use the salsa as your dressing. But at least Chipotle doesn't pretend to be a health food store. Our next chain actually markets itself as wholesome nutrition. Chain number 3, Sweetgreen. Sweetgreen, the darling of health-conscious millennials, and the place where soccer moms go to feel virtuous about their lunch choices. This place has built an entire brand around being the healthy alternative. Local ingredients, sustainable practices, Instagram-worthy salads. It's the restaurant equivalent of a yoga studio. I see parents bringing their kids here all the time, proudly ordering salads, thinking they're teaching good habits. And honestly, I want to applaud the intention, but the execution is where things go terribly wrong. Let's look at their most popular item, the Harvest Bowl with chicken. This sounds incredibly healthy, right? Warm wild rice, roasted chicken, local vegetables. But when you add their signature green goddess dressing, which most people do because, let's be honest, salads need flavor, that healthy bowl becomes a nutritional disaster. 850 calories. And here's the kicker. 400 of those calories come from the dressing alone. That's equivalent to eating 7 tablespoons of mayonnaise. You know what has fewer calories? A McDonald's Quarter Pounder with cheese. 540 calories. Your healthy salad has 300 more calories than a burger. Parents, think about this. You're paying $15 for a salad that has more calories than a burger, and your kids are learning that salads are supposed to be drowning in high-calorie dressings. We're literally programming them to make poor food choices while thinking they're being healthy. For seniors, this is particularly problematic because many are trying to manage their weight and blood sugar. When you think you're eating a light, healthy meal but you're actually consuming 850 calories of refined carbs and processed dressing, you're sabotaging your health goals. And let's talk about those local, sustainable ingredients. Yes, the lettuce might be local, but that green goddess dressing? It's loaded with processed oils, artificial preservatives, and enough sodium to make your blood pressure monitor beep. If you're going to eat at Sweetgreen, here's what you need to do. Always ask for dressing on the side, use half of what they give you, and load up on actual vegetables instead of rice and quinoa. Better yet, make these bowls at home where you can control the ingredients. But if you think Sweetgreen salads are bad, wait until you hear about our next chain smoothies. Chain number 2, Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Tropical Smoothie Cafe. The place where parents go to convince themselves that a 700-calorie drink counts as a healthy breakfast for their kids. Picture this. It's 7 a.m., you're rushing to get the kids to school, and you stop by Tropical Smoothie because, hey, it's fruit, right? It's got to be healthier than a donut. They market themselves as eat better, feel better, with smoothies packed with real fruit and natural ingredients. The walls are covered with images of fresh fruit and happy, healthy families. Let's look at one of their most popular smoothies, especially with kids, the Peanut Butter Cup Smoothie. Sounds like a reasonable treat, right? Peanut butter has protein, it's got fruit, but here's what they don't tell you on those colorful menu boards. 710 calories, 84 grams of sugar. Let me repeat that, 84 grams of sugar in one drink. You know what is less sugar? A McDonald's Oreo McFlurry. 60 grams of sugar, 510 calories. That's right. The dessert has less sugar and fewer calories than the healthy breakfast smoothie. 84 grams of sugar is equivalent to eating 21 sugar cubes. Would you give your child 21 sugar cubes for breakfast? Because that's exactly what you're doing. Parents, here's what's happening to your kids when they drink these smoothies. Massive blood sugar spike, energy crash within 2 hours, and cravings for more sugar throughout the day. You're literally setting them up for failure at school and creating addictive eating patterns. For seniors, especially those managing diabetes or trying to maintain stable blood sugar, these smoothies are absolutely devastating. 84 grams of sugar will send your glucose levels through the roof and keep them elevated for hours. And let's talk about what's actually in these smoothies. Yes, there's fruit, but it's mostly fruit juice concentrates and purees. All the sugar of fruit, with none of the fiber that helps regulate blood sugar absorption. Then they add frozen yogurt, chocolate, and artificial flavors. The really insidious part is how they market these. Start your day with antioxidants. Power up with natural energy. They're using health buzzwords to sell what is essentially a milkshake. If you want to give your kids something from Tropical Smoothie, stick to their small-size veggie smoothies with no added sweeteners. Or better yet, make smoothies at home with actual whole fruit, plain yogurt, and vegetables. But our last chain might be the most deceptive of all, because they've convinced us that processed lunch meat on processed bread is somehow healthy. Number 1. Subway. Finally, we have Subway. The restaurant that built an empire on the idea that sandwiches are inherently healthier than burgers. Remember Jared? The guy who lost weight eating Subway. That marketing campaign convinced an entire generation of parents that Subway was the healthy fast food option. I still see parents bringing their kids here, thinking they're making responsible choices. At least it's not McDonald's, they tell themselves. But here's what Subway doesn't want you to know. And this is crucial information for parents and seniors who are trying to eat healthier. Let's look at their foot-long tuna sandwich on Italian herbs and cheese bread with mayo. This is a popular choice because tuna is supposedly healthy, right? Fish is good for you. Everyone knows that. 1,360 calories. 72 grams of fat. 2,440 milligrams of sodium. Remember our Big Mac meal from earlier? 1,080 calories, 44 grams of fat, 1,470 milligrams sodium. The Subway sandwich has 280 more calories, 28 more grams of fat, and nearly 1,000 milligrams more sodium. But here's the really disturbing part. Let's talk about what's actually in that tuna. According to Subway's own ingredient list, their tuna contains tuna, mayonnaise, and a list of preservatives longer than a CVS receipt. And that fresh-baked bread? It contains 40-plus ingredients, including azotocarbonamide, a chemical also used to make yoga mats and shoe soles. Would you feed your kids yoga mat chemicals? Parents, when you bring your kids to Subway thinking you're teaching them healthy eating habits, you're actually exposing them to ultra-processed foods masquerading as wholesome meals. That foot-long sandwich contains more processed ingredients than most TV dinners. For seniors, the sodium content alone should be alarming. 2,440 milligrams in one sandwich is more than the daily recommended amount for the entire day. If you're dealing with high blood pressure, heart disease, or kidney issues, one Subway sandwich could literally be dangerous. The meat is processed with nitrates and preservatives, the cheese is processed, the bread is loaded with chemicals, and even the vegetables are often pre-packaged and treated with preservatives to extend shelf life. If you absolutely must eat at Subway, here's what you need to do. 6-inch sandwich only, choose turkey or chicken breast, load up on actual vegetables, skip the cheese and mayo, and choose mustard or oil and vinegar instead. Conclusion. So there you have it. 5 restaurant chains that have successfully convinced millions of families that they're making healthy choices when they're actually consuming meals that are worse than traditional fast food. Let's recap what we've learned. Panera's Mac and Cheese Bread Bowl. More calories and fat than a Big Mac and fries. Chipotle's Typical Bowl. 300 more calories and 1,000 milligrams more sodium than a Whopper meal. Sweetgreen's Harvest Bowl. 300 more calories than a Quarter Pounder. Tropical Smoothies Peanut Butter Cup. More sugar than a McFlurry. Subway's Footlong Tuna. More calories, fat, and sodium than a Big Mac meal. Parents, I know this is hard to hear. You're trying to do the right thing for your kids, and these restaurants are making it incredibly difficult by using deceptive marketing and massive portion sizes. Seniors, you're often dealing with fixed incomes and health concerns, and these restaurants are taking advantage of your desire to eat healthily while serving you meals that could literally be harmful to your health conditions. Here's what I want you to do. Start reading nutrition labels, ask for dressing on the side, control your portions, and remember that marketing words like fresh, natural, and real ingredients are largely meaningless. Better yet, consider cooking more meals at home where you can control exactly what goes into your food. It's cheaper, healthier, and you'll actually know what you're eating. If this video opened your eyes, please share it with other parents and seniors in your life. We need to spread awareness about these deceptive practices. And let me know in the comments, which of these revelations shocked you the most? Have you been regularly eating at any of these places thinking you were being healthy? Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I've got more videos coming that will completely change how you think about the food industry. Next week, we're exposing grocery store products that are even worse than these restaurants. Remember, just because a restaurant doesn't have a clown mascot doesn't mean it's healthy. Stay informed, stay skeptical, and most importantly, take care of your family's health. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.